Special thank you to EA for providing access to the Life and Death expansion pack. Hello and welcome back to the Sims 4 speed build. Today we are building in the beautiful new world of Ravenwood, and we are renovating the Goth's house. If you're not familiar with that, this is what it looks like before, but we're going to do some big upgrades. First, we're going to move it to a 64 by 64 lot in the new world of Ravenwood, which is empty by default, and we're going to renovate it using just base game items and all of the new items that came with Life and Death, including making some improvements and adding a new place to kind of mourn your Sims, but also a cemetery to bury them. So I thought it was pretty cool to do this. Changing up the floor plan quite a bit, because when this house was built, I mean, it's an original to The Sims 4, so a lot has changed since then. We've gotten a lot of new features and build mode things, so why not improve upon it since I'm kind of on a Goths kick, I guess. So yeah, first off, these beautiful new windows came with Life and Death, and I really like them. The only thing I wish is that I kind of wish there wasn't a rusted swatch. Like, it would be great if there was just like a solid white or solid black or something, but all of them kind of have like a rusted antique kind of look. This is the new kitchen that came with Life and Death, which is great. If you notice, I did kind of square off some angled parts of the build just because I wanted squares to be able to take advantage of the new windows and such, but yeah. But before we go any further, if you happen to be ordering Life and Death from the EA app or thesims.com, feel free to use my creator code. This is how you do that. It's just TheSimified, and it goes towards supporting me as a creator and the channel. And yeah, I get a small commission on the sale. And it's not a discount code or anything, but that's really kind of all it does, goes to support me. So thank you very much if you do decide to use my creator code. But back to the build. So we're trying out some of the new wallpapers in the new pack. Basically all of the items, all of the furnishings pretty much in this build are all Life and Death. So it's a pretty solid, complete pack. We've got new columns and things. And just a bunch of new stuff that I feel like the objects and things are very versatile in the sense that you can use them for a very gothic or maybe even a Victorian inspired build, but you can also use them for like a very modern or luxurious styled kind of home as well. So there's a lot of use cases for them, but in this case we're going full Gothic mansion. I added this bump out here, which is full of the new windows with Life and Death, and that will be a bar area. I was thinking about making it like a greenhouse thing, but then I saw this giant new bar that came with the pack, and I am not one to put like bars in homes, you know, like. But I thought it's fitting for the Goth's house, especially this giant mansion as well. I was going to make above that little bar area like a balcony, but we do come back and change that just to a roof, actually, and a little dormer, which will become an extension of the primary bedroom. Well, it's actually going to be the primary bath, but yeah. Just squaring off the rounded edges here. I think the squares kind of help. I don't know. It just gives it a different look. I didn't want to use curves for the obvious reason that curve walls are just glitchy. I was also testing there for a split second just kind of how doors or windows will, especially these new ones, will snap to the curved walls, but they unfortunately do not very well. I mean, they will if you use like move objects, but no, because they still don't look right. Also, something is we didn't get a 3, like the upper wall height. I was going to say the 3 level, the really, really, really tall wall height. We didn't get any windows or doors for that. It seems like that one's always kind of forgotten, but we did get some regular wall height and medium wall height. And something I do change out about the house is I do adjust the wall heights because they are super tall in the original. So I believe I left the upper floor being like the medium wall height. No, it's actually the very tall, and I bumped it to medium. And then, no, wait. I left the upper floor, the really tall, And then I bumped the first floor to the medium wall height because it just felt so massive down there. Roofing is fun. There's a bunch of roof pieces kind of tucked away and hidden to make this roof look appealing to the eye and not broken up into pieces. And I think I kind of nailed it. It took a while. This actually only took like a couple of seconds in the speed build, but I probably spent a good 15-20 minutes on it, just trying to get all the pieces to fit together, the right heights and everything. We're using a new roof tile that came with the expansion, and then I'm just fixing the dormer area. That way the roof doesn't clip into what will become the primary bath. So we can actually use that space up there. And then we also got this new, what do you want to call it? Oh, I'm drawing a blank on it, which sucks, but oh well. But it's this nice little accent on the top of the floor, like the upper level there. You can kind of see it, and you can actually drag like a roof tile out over it, so it looks like it's supporting the roof tile, which is nice. I did get rid of the wraparound porch here. I mean, like at least the upper level of it I got rid of, but I did keep the lower portion, so it still kind of has some nods to its classic past. And if you would like to grab this build, this is the gallery listing. I just called it Goth's Life and Death. It's formerly the Ophelia Villa, but this time it's on a 64 by 64 lot, which is blank in Ravenwood. So it's the perfect place to put a house like this. 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 176,886 simoleons. So it's not exactly cheap. And then it just uses base game and life and death. That's it. Beautiful little location of the world. I kind of like this spot. It's very nice little area here. It's very lush green. You've got like rolling farm fields and hay bales and things like that. It's very, very pretty. There are other areas of the world. Like there's this other area that's kind of very ethereal themed in the sense that it's kind of like dark, but also like glowing, and you got not as many lush trees around. Like it kind of looks a little kind of like Forgotten Hollow, I guess. It's very dark and dreary, I guess. But we will venture into that side, of course, and do a couple of builds for there. I do have a cemetery build in mind that I would like to do, which I think would be super fun to do. It kind of something a little different from just a standard house. So just getting the floor plan situated on the second level here, but I generally kept everything almost in the exact same positions. Just made some improvements like an open staircase area, and then this bump out over the kitchen area just kind of hangs off the side, but this will become the second bedroom, kind of like a kid's bedroom, but you'll see it when we get there. Like this speed build is pretty long, and you would think that renovating a speed build wouldn't take a very long time, but this literally took me all day yesterday putting it together. Like I sat here from, gosh, I don't even know when I started, and then when I turned around and looked at the clock, it was like 8 a.m. and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like take a break. I was kind of getting a little burned out, I guess. So I did come back and finish up like landscaping and stuff. So yeah, I was just kind of like, whew, yeah, it's time for a break. Take care of my own needs too. So yeah. So this little ladder area is actually how you'll get up to the third level, which was previously a bedroom. And I want to say it is kind of a bedroom now, but it's also not. There is a coffin bed in it that your Sims can woohoo in if they want, or you could just use it as a regular bed. Like totally up to you how you want to play with that and use that. But I thought it was kind of fun to kind of have in the attic space. It's just like this coffin functional bed area. We're using a new sofa from the Life and Death, a new rocking chair, just chairs. The fireplace is also Life and Death, and we also have those new bookcases or bookshelves that you saw me place over there. They come in a variety of color swatches. I used white in here, but in the study area, which is off the dining room, I used like this, I think it's like a darker green, or maybe even a black color. I think this is a black color because I used a darker green in the upstairs second bedroom. Just kind of doing a little bit of clutter, but I didn't do anything over the top. I wanted to leave the house feel very grand and open. clutter where it needs to be, but not so much. Finding curtains is also a struggle to fit the new windows. There are these like new wall decorations that kind of look like curtains, but they're not under the curtains category because they're basically just a wall decoration. So they can kind of work, but they really don't in a sense. We do use it later for its intended purpose, which I think is to be like over like the like morning table area, which you'll see what I mean. You can kind of set up that like memorial little table there. So it kind of works well behind those. So maybe that's its intended purpose. We are now putting together the study, which I went for dark gray and black in here, kind of all over the place with colors. But I think it fits well with the goth vibe. It's very gothic inspired, and you kind of have some whites and creams here and there, but still a very nice classic kind of feel to it. And yeah, we kind of kept it pretty simple in here, just a wall of bookcases or bookshelves. And then we do put a new stereo over here. It's like a, I forget what they called it, but it's like a record player kind of, but not, I think it's a gramophone, not a gramophone. Maybe it's the gramophone. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to what it's actually called, but it's small and it fit on the table, and that's exactly what I was going for. This is the downstairs powder room, which is just a toilet and a sink, which we used the new Life and Death ones. However, there is no new toilet for Life and Death, but you are able to kind of match some of the base game toilets to, be pretty close, I think. Kind of a bummer that we got we got a whole new bathroom set as well. Like you got the tub, you got a vanity sink, you got a shower, you got like some bathroom storage decorations kind of thing, but you didn't get a new toilet. But that's okay. I mean, we have plenty of toilets, but just using like base game and Life and Death kind of really limits your options as far as toilets go. We're now putting together the bar area, which is pretty simple. I kept it open in there as well, make it feel a bit more grand and spacious in there, but the bar itself is huge. So yeah, up here we do keep the piano. I did kind of flip it around a bit and kind of move it in a different spot. I kind of kept it towards the center of the room. That way the sound would kind of resonate around, theoretically, if this was real life. But it obviously is The Sims, so it really doesn't matter. Doing a nice candle chandelier over the open level below, and then quickly we hop up to the third level just to kind of make it a little bit darker and update it. So the primary bedroom is actually all white. We're using the new white swatch on the one of the new Life and Death wallpapers, paneled wallpapers. And now I'm doing something different in here. I'm actually elevating by just one little step up, like platform beds kind of area. That way the room didn't feel so tall, because they really do with these really, really tall wall heights. So it just helps bring a little bit of like dimension into the room, into an otherwise very large room. So kind of helps break it up a little bit. But we do the standard stuff in here. You have a dresser, a mirror. Over here, I do like a makeup vanity kind of area, which actually is functional because the chair slots to it. There's these new bookcases or bookshelves that have like a light up inside them, which I think is so cool. Now, it is kind of weird as far as what snaps there, because it doesn't seem to snap things towards the center unless they're like really small. But like you can put like a photo or something in there depending on the size. So that's quite nice. But I didn't put anything in there. That way you can kind of slot in things that you'd actually want. And then I just found some more clutter. So I'm like, oh yes, let's pop that stuff down here real quick before I kind of forget it. So yeah. And then we're back up to the primary bedroom, doing some additional clutter in here. Pretty simple and to the point, but all in all, just a basic primary bedroom, I guess. We do put a mirror in there as well. And then, yeah, these are those like wall decoration kind of things that look like curtains, but they're not, but they would make really nice, I don't know, like just a wall feature, kind of like behind a bed or something. So yeah, I also feel like it would fit very well with the castle kit. A lot of this stuff, you could make it feel very medieval inspired as well, especially with the windows. Like you can mix and match, and just some of the furnishings are just so nice. In here, we're now doing the primary bath. And I went with like white and gold. I love this new tub. It's a freestanding tub, and you can kind of see all the plumbing, and the shower is really nice as well. Just a bummer about that toilet situation, but that's okay. And then I am trying to find this cabinet, which I did find, which is just some bath stuff. And I thought that was kind of nice. And then we do put a little table in here with just some towels. And then a mirror, which I used a base game mirror. I believe I settled on a base game mirror. I'm pretty sure. I go back to the original one I picked because it was gold and it closely matched the sink. And then some clutter in here, but again, not too much. The shower was doing this weird like floor glitchy thing. You could probably see it every time I like move the camera, but I think that was due to an issue with the rooms where the roof from the dormer was kind of clipping into the room and it wasn't creating a closed room. So there was like weird lighting issues and stuff. So we do address that later, where I kind of like frame out a little like bump out space where the dormer roof pieces are. I don't know why it took away the walls of the actual room, but it decided to do that. So I just kind of fixed that a little bit. But yeah, here I'm in the second bedroom, which is like a green bedroom. I kind of designed this a little bit like a kid's bedroom. And we do a floor to ceiling kind of like bookcases over here. Using the nice new bookcases there. And then I used the new kitchen cabinets to create like this storage space below the windows. And then just kind of slotted some clutter using a table, but also a bit of the tool mod there to kind of make it so it wasn't kind of being cut off in the cabinet. Normally I have the problem where it's floating, but this time I had the opposite effect where the objects weren't floating, but they were actually sinking. So just had to elevate them a little bit with the tool mod, but I think it works very well indeed. And again, trying to find curtains here too. And something that just fits well here. I was toying with base game curtains and then like shrinking the middle one. I'm like, no, that looks weird. And then I settled on these black base game curtains, which I'm like, okay, that'll work. They don't clip into anything. They don't look weird. And just had to size that one up a little bit to fit the window, but it worked out well. I kind of really like this bedroom. I like the white one too. Mainly for its ensuite bathroom, but I do really like this one as well. I just like the color of it. It's very nice and very well put together. And I think the issue there you'll see is like you can see the brick in the like primary bedroom there, but also in this green room bathroom. That was because of the dormer roof pieces clipping. So I was like, oh no, like because if I painted the wall with the actual wallpaper, it carried to the outside of the house, and I'm like, that's not right. Something's going on with the rooms here. So yeah, this is when I kind of noticed that this room was awfully dark, and I tried to put in additional lights, and like none of it was working. It wasn't making it brighter or anything, and I'm like, something's wrong here. Like, this is weird. I took the light away, and then that's when I'm like, oh, okay, problem with the roof there. Because it was like making the roof piece wall, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's the problem over here in the primary. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly it. Because there was some weird, like, things just looked darker, kind of like purple, kind of like they were outside, like they had the wrong lighting. So fixed that real quick with a little bump out. But, you know, it's not all bad. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't kind of take away from the house at all. Over here, we do a little memorial table. I was kind of making my own, and then I found one that was already pre-done up. So I figured, like, if you do move Sims in here, or if you just play with the goths, like if someone dies, you can, you know, have a nice photo of them here. We do the tarot cards. I don't know if that's really like a game that you can play, but I kind of made it look like it's a game that you kind of can all sit down and do, but you really don't usually. It's like 2 people, but you never know. So I just left it kind of like that. I thought that'd be kind of cool to have a table of tarot readings. So yeah, very, very gothic. We also do the new crow, which he's there in the stand. Right now you can see him. And he's just an object that you can, I don't know, he doesn't really do too much, but he does fly off randomly. So like in the screenshots, he's missing from his post, but that's because I assume that he flew off to go do something. So yeah, I don't know. He just disappears when he wants to. And then he comes back and you just, oh, there he is again. So, but yeah, this is the upstairs coffin bed area, another little memorial table, but I left it blank this time. At least I'm pretty sure I did. And then we took a chair in the corner, but that's really it. I just thought it'd be kind of like creepy, but also cool at the same time. Now we're building a memorial like service space. So I thought this was really nice to have on the lot. I kind of imagine the Goths would always kind of be into like funerals and stuff. So, or the afterlife in general, or like, you know, having a business like that. So that's kind of where I was going with this. So yeah, I made a space for Sims to come and be able to celebrate their loved one's life right on the lot. And then we also put together a cemetery space too. So pretty cool. Using a new roof decal, this new glass roof I didn't end up using, but it is very nice in how it looks. But for some reason, the ceiling wasn't like going away when I put the roof piece on, but then it did for like the base game one, which I thought actually looked a little bit better with the roof texture anyway. Now we're moving to the inside. We do an elevated platform area, and that's where like the coffin will sit in the center. And I left some empty tables. That way you can kind of place things that you want if you were having a service for a sim here. So yeah, just kind of decorating it up. I did decide on going black tile in here just because the original tile I chose, the square like areas weren't lining up as I kind of wanted them to. So just putting in some windows, bringing in a lot of natural light, but that's really all that goes into this apart from a couple of benches. But you have your coffin right in the middle, and that is actually a real one. Then you have your podium where your Sims can give speeches or whatever they want, I guess, to say about, you know, the Sim. And then I did a couple more portrait frames off the side here, and you have your wreath. And then I did red carpet running down the center, kind of keeping with the black and the red theme, you know, the Goths. So kind of channeling a little bit of Bella Goth. So yeah, and then we do benches, and then I did swap out the coffin for the right one because there is a separate coffin that is just a coffin bed. So and then now we're putting together the little cemetery, which we have the little mausoleum house or the crypt, and that's where you can kind of store things. I believe your Sims can also explore it, so that's pretty cool. We do a new swing set as well, and I'm still coming back to this roof area, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like I was just like, okay, we're gonna come back to it, and I just couldn't get it to fit how I wanted it to. But in the end, I did manage something that looks okay. I mean, it's not something that I'm ultimately proud of, but it works mainly because it doesn't fit the wall exactly right. But just don't go back there. Just don't go behind it. That's okay. You know, that's not the focus anyway. So yeah, and then we have the door, and we do a nice big window on the front. Nice big chandelier again, but still a very nice place. I did think about windows there, but I'm like, wait, I can't get them lined up properly on the wall, so we get rid of them. Doing some exterior lighting real quick, but again, not too much. And then we are back to putting the cemetery together, which I used this beautiful new fence from Life and Death, along with the fence gate. There's a couple of new fences and stuff, and now we're just kind of switching the layout a bit, and then I have to bump this one side in because it's just one tile larger. We do another coffin bed out here in the cemetery space, you know, just in case your Sims are into that kind of thing. You know how Sims are. They can be a little weird sometimes. So, you know, whatever you happen to be into, you can, you know, either in the attic space or, you know, out where the graves are, totally up to you. But they are, you know, your Sims can woohoo in them. So yeah, not just sleep. So just kind of connecting a path to the memorial space. And now we're doing the front gate, which I do have to come back and change because I realized that the gate piece is 4 tiles wide. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was 2. I thought there was like a 2 tile wide one, but no biggie. Just some quick adjustment there. And then we carry the stone out here as well as the edging. And then I use a stone terrain paint to create like a curving path from the actual stone path over to the cemetery and in to like where the crypt area is. And then I believe I used some outside the front gate there where the green bit is. But other than that, just doing some finishing details on the exterior. I did try the new roof decoration pieces, but I don't know. There just isn't enough. It wouldn't have looked right if I just left like a certain area done up with those like pointy pieces. So just kind of decided not to do that. But we did put a nice little pointy piece on the actual like third floor attic space. So all in all, pretty good. We still have the details where it matters. And now we're just doing some landscaping with some shrubs and bushes and ferns. And I'm doing this weird thing with a vent to kind of make it look like the kitchen vent actually vents outside, but it doesn't. it's just a decorative little piece. And then I was trying to find the trees to kind of match the surrounding trees so it basically fit in perfectly. And we do find the trees thanks to Debug. So just kind of placing them around here. But again, not too much. Just kind of kept them on the edges of the lot. And then I matched the ferns as well. They kind of use two different types of ferns in the world. But yeah, just trying to find something to fit in there. But then I decided let's just leave it blank. We don't need shrubs and landscaping like every single spot. So we do it that way. I also find these smaller trees as well here to kind of match into the world. And I think it just fits very nicely. Trees where it matters. And then we also have bushes and flowering bushes and stuff. But all in all, pretty complete, solid build. Around the swing set, we do put some bushes and stuff like a backdrop, but good for photos, I guess. So, yeah, I'm just doing some flowering landscaping now, but again, not too much. I wasn't too big on the flowers this time around, which is okay because it's supposed to be a Gothic mansion, so you will have flowers, but again, you won't have like bright flowers everywhere. At least that's what I was kind of, I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we're doing some more ferns here, just along the outskirts of the little cemetery space. And that's really pretty much it. Just kind of finishing up the backdrop behind. And I was trying to find the flowers that they used in the world. And then I did find them and I'm like, yes, perfect. We'll just use those because they're nice. They're like, I don't know. They have white and yellow, but they fit actually very well with the style of the house. So I think that's pretty great. Just kind of did like a messy flower bed out the front there. But again, not too much in the way of flowers around the front elevation too much. So then we do find some stones. But again, not too much because they didn't really use a lot of that, in the world either. And then I did put 2 gravestones off the back of the house. I kind of thought that those could be like pets. Well, at least that's what I was thinking, but you can think whatever you want to think about that. But I just kind of thought that they were pets. And then we do more terrain painting and detailing underneath the grave sites, kind of make it look like this one's being like freshly dug out kind of thing, not like it has to go in the ground. And then, just going around the edges of the lot and under the landscaping just a bit here and there and everywhere just to make it look nice and detailed and feature complete. And we are almost to the end and almost to the screenshots. So yeah, very cool build, very fun to do. I am looking to do something a bit more that's not a renovation, but more like something that's like, like a fresh new idea. So I think the next build will probably be some sort of like maybe like a cemetery space, or maybe I'll do like another like creepy house, like an abandoned house. Or I was thinking even renovating the Sims 2 version of the Goth's house, but using the new items, like kind of bringing it up just for base game and life and death only. But I think this is a very nice upgrade of the Sims 4's version of the Goth house. Changes where I felt that changes could be made, but ultimately still a very similar footprint and overall style to the house. And I really, really love how it turned out. If you enjoyed it yourself, again, you can grab it on the Sims 4 gallery. My EA ID is just TheSimified. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more life and death content on the way. And don't forget to use my creator code if you happen to be purchasing life and death via the EA app or thesims.com. Though I will say, though my creator code doesn't apply here, but that doesn't matter because I'm not about that. But CD Keys is also offering 30% off life and death. So you can actually get it at a reduced rate over on cdkeys.com, so which I've used previously for giveaway expansion pack codes, so they're trustworthy. I mean, I would probably use PayPal, but you know, something like that. But otherwise, I mean, they're good. The codes have always worked. I've never had an issue. So yeah, just sharing that knowledge, because I'm not all about the creator code, but it is there if you'd like to use that and support the channel and support me as a creator. So thank you so much. But yeah, looking at the nice kitchen, I really like this kitchen. There's a variety of swatches. So again, you can use these objects and things for pretty much any style of house. Like, all of the objects really work very well, whether it's like an ultra modern speed build or more of a classic kind of build, or even just like a rundown house. Like they all just, I don't know, the color swatches and everything are there to make it possible. This is the front entrance way going upstairs now into the like hallway area where you have the piano. The crow, again, you can see he's missing. I don't know where he went. Would be nice to know if they kind of said, oh, he's out, like, I don't know, what would he be doing? Cawing at it from a tree, or like assessing new grave sites, or sitting on a gravestone. You know what I mean? I thought that'd be kind of cool. Like if they gave like a status of like, oh, he's in the cemetery, you know, looking over the graves or something weird. I don't know. I'm just saying, but yeah. And then this is the second bedroom, which I really do like how this one turned out as well. It's kind of like a kid's bedroom. I thought so. Very nice, but doesn't have to be a kid's bedroom. I did set it up that way, but you can use it for whatever you want. I mean, if you don't want the kids' toys, obviously you can delete them. And then this is the third floor coffin bed sleeping space, if you want to use it for that. But again, that's all up to you. And then this is the memorial space where you can grieve your loved ones and kind of hold little ceremonies. So I think the Goths are all about that. And then this is the little cemetery space. But anyway, I do thank you for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very soon with another video.